Hello and welcome back to Bookmark Chronicles. Today I'm doing another Kindle Unlimited TBR. So I have some books that I specifically put on this list because I like the author. And then I have some books that were available for Stuff Your Kindle Day, but then I realized they were on KU. So I just decided to get them from KU. A lot of these also were chosen strictly on their covers because I like them. So do I know the synopses? No, I'm gonna do a quick glimpse of them so I can sort of tell you what it's about, but we're kind of just winging it today. So first, I want to start off with the books that I intentionally put on here, starting off with the Holiday Hookup series by Daniel Allen. I read Boot Up in October and I really enjoyed it. I started reading other books in that series, and ideally I would love to do a series review. However, I don't know how many of these she's going to write. One came out in November, that was the most recent one, but there are also some that I just haven't read yet that I need to get to. But these are all just short romance novellas about people hooking up on holidays, and some are definitely better than others, but it's a fun time overall. Next, I have Where We Found Our Home by Natasha Bishop. This is the first in a series. I read Only for the Week by her, really enjoyed it. I will have my review of that linked in the card and in the description for you. This is the first in what I think is supposed to be a 5-book series. 3 of them are currently out. Because I enjoyed Only for the Week so much, I'm just interested to read more by this author. I haven't heard much about this series, but I'm hoping that I enjoy it. I believe it is a series of romance companion novels, and you know that I love that. So I will definitely report back when I get through those. Then I have a couple books by Lady Marie. First is Worth It. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first in a series, potentially a trilogy. But I read her Sugared and Spice series and I really enjoyed it, so I really like her writing and I'm excited to read more. I do not know the synopsis for that book, but I do know what Sinnamon Golds is about. This one came out around Thanksgiving time, and in this one, our female main character is at Thanksgiving dinner with, I think, her ex, and she recently hooked up with his cousin, or she hooks up with the cousin at Thanksgiving dinner, something like that. Everyone was talking about it. Seems like a fun one, so I'm really excited to read more by her as well. Then I have Cups of You. I don't remember what this is about. I do remember Heather talking about it, and I decided I was going to add it to my TBR. I know it's a just regular contemporary romance, so I don't know, we'll see. It'll probably be good. The next one is Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. So I knew a few people that had read this and enjoyed it. However, I did a live with Heather, Nicole, and Bethany over on Heather's channel, and I think Bethany said that she didn't love it, but I know Nicole likes it, I know Ashley likes it, and I'm just curious to see where I land. That's really the only reason that I'm gonna read it, but I'll report back on that one. This one, I believe, is a girl on her maybe 18th birthday who ends up hooking up with her boyfriend or ex-boyfriend's dad, something like that. So yeah, I'm just interested to see what happens, and I'll report back to y'all when I do that. Then I have the Umbre King. So I think this is a fantasy romance, and I am mutuals with Jamie Applegate Hunter on TikTok. I have been for a while, and I've wanted to read this, but I kept forgetting to put it on my list. She's put little snippets of it on TikTok, and I was interested. I also know that one of her characters is based off of Lo, who I am also friends with on TikTok, so I'm excited to read this one. I believe it's a trilogy. I also like Jamie as a person, so I think that I will like her writing in a fantasy romance. We'll see how it goes. Y'all know I don't read fantasy romance like that, so I think this is a good way to dip my toes into that genre. Then I have Cant Catch Me. This is by Alexandra Warren. When the girls and I went on our cabin trip, we went to a Black woman-owned bookstore, and this was one of the recs from one of the employees, and I haven't read anything by Alexandra Warren yet, so I'm excited to read this. I believe it's also a basketball romance, so the only basketball romance that I attempted to read once, I ended up DNFing, so I'm hoping that maybe I like this one more and then can read more of her other work. So now moving on to the books that were available for Stuff Your Kindle Day. I realized they were on KU, or I just really like the cover. So first is The Friendship Contract. If I'm not mistaken, this is a friends to lovers situation, which is a little iffy for me, but in this one, I think the guy has always been in love with the girl, but she is dating someone and she finds an engagement ring in their apartment somewhere. How the other two are gonna end up together, I'm not 100% sure, but we're gonna give it a try and hopefully I like it. We'll see. So next I have two books by Kasha Thompson, and I DNF'd Sight Unseen at the end of 2023. So I'm a little nervous about reading another book by her. However, I found two based on the cover that I really liked. The first one is called Working Through It. I believe this is a workplace romance where our female main character ends up working with her ex-boyfriend, I think. And I believe he's engaged to somebody else. So how that's gonna work out, I'm not sure, but I might give that one a try. The other one is called Figure of Speech, and it's about the press secretary and the president. I'm not sure how I'll feel about the political environment and how much that's going to play into the story, but I'm curious. I don't know. I feel like maybe I'll pick the one that has the highest rating overall and then start with that one, and maybe I'll like it. If you've read either one, please let me know, because I really don't know what to expect. But I didn't love Sight Unseen, and that one's based off of Married at First Sight, which is a show that I love, but I didn't love the book, so I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Then I have Single Dads Club. If I'm not mistaken, in this one, the male main character didn't want to be a parent, but then he ends up a single dad, and they move to South Africa, and I guess he meets someone there. I don't know. I think that's it, but we'll see. I like the cover of this one, that's why I picked it. Then I have Strictly Friends. This one is about a single mom. She has a friend who is a father figure to her son, but her son is at the age where he's starting to ask questions about his dad. So I believe she goes to find him and figure some stuff out. I don't really know the background of that relationship, but again, I'm curious, so we'll see how it goes. And the last one that I have is Where There's Smoke, There's Fire. In this one, I believe our two main characters had a one-night stand, but she doesn't want a relationship. He wants more, and I guess we're supposed to figure out how to navigate that. I think she recently got out of a relationship though, and that's why she's kind of like, nah, I don't want anything serious right now. But again, I really like the cover of this one. That's why I picked it. So that is my most recent Kindle TBR. Let me know if you've read any of these, especially if you've read the two by Kasha Thompson, because I'm really curious about those. Otherwise, that's all I have for you today, and I'll see you in the next video.